In this video, I'm going to show you the most easiest and the most cheapest way to give knowledge to your AI agents within n8n. Before we dive in, let me tell you that this setup is perfect for anyone who has, let's say, about 10 to 20 PDFs they're dealing with and they just want to upload it and get answers to the questions. Or for someone who is just learning and does not want to go into the vector store stuff. On the other hand, if you have large data sets or dynamic data sets, in that case, this setup wouldn't be recommended. We're going to cover two instances in this video. The first instance is going to be a chat instance. So let's say that you have an AI agent which is being designed to chat, but you also want to give knowledge to it. So that is something that we are going to cover in this video. To take an example, let's say you're creating a customer support agent and you have scraped your entire website's content, you have additional PDFs, and then you just simply upload it to the AI agent and it is going to start answering questions of your users without having to deal with the complex vector store setup. The second instance is going to be that let's say you have an AI agent module somewhere in between your workflow and you want to get structured JSON data out of it, but at the same time you also want to give it knowledge. So that is also something that we're going to cover in this video. So hello everybody, my name is Yashika Jain. I'm the founder of Automates AI. Automates AI is my AI automation agency wherein we create AI systems for businesses. Apart from running my own agency, I'm also an AI consultant. And from what I've seen during the past few months is that people are getting very interested into 1. n8n, 2. AI agents, and 3. RAG. But unfortunately, there is a knowledge gap here when it comes to RAG. People think that even if they have 5 PDFs, they have to go into that vector store setup. They have to create that n8n workflow where you're first uploading the files to the vector stores and then you're taking care of embeddings and everything. But that's not the truth. You could also do it in a very straightforward way. I'm not sure why no one is talking about this, so that's why I thought of making a video on this. I'm not saying that vector store setup is not needed. It is indeed needed, but only when you're dealing with large data sets. Let's say you have a big database of thousands of rows with your products. In that case, obviously you have to go with that setup, but not when you're just dealing with a few PDFs. And I'm sure you're smart enough to assess which way you have to go. So anyways, if you're ready, let's get started. So as I said, the first instance is going to be a chat instance. So let's go here and select the trigger as on chat message. Okay, this looks good. Now let me show you what you might have done. You might have gone here, you might have selected AI agent, then let's say you might have given it a prompt, okay, and then you might have added a system message, right? And then you might have added a chat model like this, and then maybe you had added memory. So let's go with this, and then you might have added a few tools. Let me just select one of the tools. Okay. So I think your setup looks like this right now. Now, obviously, if you have to add knowledge to this setup, you have to go to tools and you have to connect one of these vector stores. So let's say that you connect Pineco. Now, obviously, again, the entire setup is needed in this case. So yeah, if you do have something like this, you can just get rid of it because we don't need this anymore. Instead, what we're going to do is we're again going to go to advanced AI, but this time we're going to go with OpenAI. And then we're going to select message and assistant. Now, I'm not sure how many people know this, but Assistants API by OpenAI already gives us this amazing file search feature wherein you can just upload the files as is, and it is going to take care of the rest of the stuff. It's going to do the hard lifting for you. You give it the question, it's going to give you the answer. Okay, so now let's head over to OpenAI to set up the assistant and upload our files. So go to openai.com. After that, go to API platform and click on start building. If you don't already have an account with them, create one. If you do, then log in. After that, go to settings, scroll down, go to API keys, click on create new secret key, give your key a name and click on create. It's going to give you a token. Copy that token and then here, click on create new credential, paste your token right here under API key and click on save. That would connect this to your OpenAI account. The next thing that you want to do is go to billings here and then add some credit balance to your OpenAI account. If you already have all of this set up, you can come back to dashboard and then select assistants. After that, to create a new assistant, you can click on the create button here. That's going to create a brand new assistant for you. You can give it a name. So you could say RAG AI agent. Then it's going to give you an ID. Just copy that ID, come back here, and then just select by ID for this one and paste the ID here. After that, just select define below for the next one, that is source for prompt, because we want to actually write the entire prompt. Okay, now for the system instructions, you could just say respond to the user query by following the given instructions. Nothing much here. We're going to actually add the entire prompt in n8n so that you don't have to come here again and again to make any changes to the prompt. And now comes the main feature, that is the file search feature. Just turn it on. For the model, you can select GPT-4o. It works amazingly with the file search feature. After that, to upload the files, finally click on the plus files icon, and here you can drag and drop any files that you would want the AI agent to access. Now, they can be in PDF format, they can be in TXT format, they can be in a lot of more formats. Let me show you. So if you go here, scroll to the very bottom, it's going to show you all the supported file formats. And if your file is not in this format, you can easily convert it with one of the online converters, the online file converters, and then upload it right here. So let me upload one PDF. So this is the file that I've uploaded. So basically, it's an FAQ file for a hypothetical restaurant. So it has questions like what's your address, what are your hours of operation, and a few more questions. So as you can see, we have about 25 questions. I think it is decent to test this LLM. Okay, so it's uploaded. Now let me click on attach, and there you go. A vector store has been created for you and the file has been uploaded to it. If you want to add more files, you can anytime click on this and add more and more to it. You can upload as many files as you want. It could be 20, it could be even more. But the only thing I'm saying is that if it's a very large data set, for instance, thousands of rows in an Excel sheet, then this wouldn't be recommended as it might hallucinate. But in this case, it's all good. So yeah, this is done. Okay, so now you can come back here and you can add your prompt right here. Now, the correct way would have been that one adds the prompt here and just passes the user query from here. But I know many people would not want to switch between two platforms and they would just want to, have the prompt, the entire prompt within n8n to easily edit it, right? So it's fine. You can also have it here. It's still going to work. So here's the prompt that I had put together. Let me show you. So I gave it an identity saying that it's an AI assistant for Jenny's restaurant. Then we gave it a few instructions as to how to speak. Then we told it that you have to start with an introduction. Then you have to answer the user's question, right? If anything is unclear, you can ask them again. And then if the query is out of scope, then you can just give the number of customer support for them to call. And then simply we've told it about closure, and then we've told it how to use this one tool, which I'm going to talk about just in a moment. And then at the end, you're going to pass in the input that the user has sent in the chat. Now for that, we have to first test the previous module. So let's go ahead and click on test tab, or maybe let's just open the chat and give it a hi message. Okay. It's obviously not going to give a perfect response right now, but that's fine. We can go back here. Let's scroll down. Okay, now this is also in green. That means that any input that the user puts in the chat is going to be passed on to this agent through this particular variable. If you're not seeing this variable as green, you can just, drag the chat input right here and you're going to see it, okay? Also, the entire prompt is going to be available just in case someone is trying to learn, and it would be there in the description. So look for resources in the description box below. And once you've pasted it, just make sure these are green. If not, please drag and drop it from here. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Okay, so now let's give it a test to show you that the file search feature is working. So I'm going to send a hi. Okay, so thanks for reaching out. How can I help you today? So let me ask, what is your address? And if you want, you can see it in this one, that it is this one. So let's see. There you go. You have the address. That means that the file search feature is working. Now, one thing here, as you can see, it is putting the source or the citation, which we don't really need. So let's just go ahead and add a tool to get rid of this source thing, okay? So, and one more thing is that the agent right now does not have memory, so we'll have to add the memory as well. So let's configure that. So we're going to come back here, we're going to click on plus, and for the memory, you can just go with simple memory. It's going to work amazingly. For the context window length, you can keep it to 10 so that it remembers the past 10 messages in one particular chat. Now, for removing that source text that I was talking about, we'll have to set up a tool, which is going to be the code tool. You can give it a name that says remove annotations. And then for the description, you could say something like, it removes any annotations from the received output. Always call this tool before responding to the customer. Okay, and after that, there's going to be a simple piece of code. Let me paste it for you. Okay, so here's the code. Again, 4 lines. You will get it in the resources so that you can copy paste it easily. And that's it. The tool is done. Now this tool is going to remove that sources thing and then click on save. So if you give a test now, let's just refresh it. Let's say hi. And then we're going to ask what's your address. Okay, what's your address? And let's see if it's running the tool or not. So right now it's searching the knowledge base, and then yes, it did run the tool, and now we should have the response, and there you go. And this time we don't have that source thing, right? The citation. Okay, so this is done. Now, whatever tool you want to add, you can add it just like you would in your AI agent module. So let's say that I put a tool for Google Sheets, okay? Just to show you, okay? And then let's just say create a row. And then you would select expression just like you do in the AI agent tools. And then you just select from AI and then you put the name of the field you want to receive. That's it, right? So the rest of it remains the same. So you can add as many tools as you want to. You can change the prompt just as you want, right? Just make sure to have this line that says use this remove annotations function, or you could say tool. Use this tool to clean the message before sending it to the user. So I'm just going to get rid of this Google Sheets tool and I'm going to save it. So see, you just replaced the AI agent module with the OpenAI assistance module, and you were able to easily access the file search feature. Now, someone would point out that you can't get JSON related structured output, right? So that brings me to the second instance. That is that let's say you have your entire workflow, you're using AI agent module somewhere in between to get a structured JSON output. So in that case, how are you going to use this setup? So let me show you. I'm just going to add another trigger here. So add another trigger, and I'm just going to select trigger manually because I just want to give you an example of how things work, and I don't want to set up an entire workflow right now. Okay, after that, we're going to put the same OpenAI module, which is message and assistant. Then here you're going to click on by ID and you will create the assistant in the same manner. Everything remains the same. Yes, you can change the system instructions, but I think this line works fine. And then you just copy the ID and you paste it right here. For the prompt, just select define below so that you can put a prompt. Okay, so here's the prompt that I've put together. So I've said you are a helpful assistant. Your task is to create a set of 10 questions and their answers based on the uploaded PDF. So you go through the PDF and then you give me a JSON with 10 different questions and answers. And then you don't really need the code and the memory block here because this is not chat. If you still want to have another tools, you can have them. Just like you had in AI agent, it's the same thing. And then after that, to parse it, you can just select edit fields. Okay. And then here you can select JSON. Okay, so first we'll have to test the previous module. Let's test it. Okay, so we've got the response. Let's go back here. And let's change it to the output. Okay, and let's click on test. Okay, so it says invalid JSON. One second, let's go back here and let's tell it to only return, only return the JSON and don't mention the format name. Okay, now let's test it. And now it's giving the correct JSON. Let's go back here. Let's click on test. And there you go. You have it as different mappable variable fields. So in that AI agent module, you were adding the structured output parser module, right? So in this case, you just have to add this and you just keep moving with your workflow, or you can just put it in between your workflow as well. So when to use this setup? When you want to give knowledge to your AI agent. So yeah, that's how you set up a very easy RAG setup within n8n. One limitation could be for people who don't really want to use OpenAI and they want to use, let's say, some other chat model. So in that case, they might not want to go with this setup. But I think there's no harm in using this if this is saving you from all that other vector store headache. So this video was for people who have small data sets, right? If you want me to create a video for large data sets, that is while catering to that vector store setup, then let me know in the comments below. This is something that I thought was missing from the YouTube world, so that's why I covered this in a video. Let me know if this helped you in any manner, because I always tend to use this method when I'm creating simpler workflows with small, data sets. Any code, any prompt that I have used throughout this video would be available in the description box. Just look for the resources, click on the link, and you're going to find it. Talking about pricing, this is just OpenAI's API cost, right? It's pay as you go. You don't have to buy any monthly subscription or anything like that. You just add $5 to $10 in your wallet, in your OpenAI wallet, and that's going to be more than enough. Okay, so that's it for the video. If anyone's looking for AI systems for their businesses, then the link to my website is in the description below. And if anyone's looking for AI coaching or consulting, then the link to the consultation calendar is also in the description below. So if this was helpful in any manner, let me know in the comments below. Also, please like the video if you really liked the video, and please subscribe to the channel. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.